What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a review video. We have had this game for just about 2 months now, so I figured this is a pretty good time to review of everything that has gone on so far over the past 2 months with the game, and hopefully where I can see it going, or possibly where I hope to see it going. I'm going to break down the pros of this game, definitely going to break down the cons of this game, and then hopefully some suggestions that maybe you guys can fill in and give your feedback to that we can probably pass along, and hopefully maybe somebody along the way who's a big time player in this game can make these improvements and see what the community desires in this game moving forward. This game right from the start has really resembled real life golf, and that's what I've appreciated most about it. So let's start there. First and foremost, every golf obviously needs a course to play on, and I think they've done a really good job with the course design. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of the intricacies that you're not fully able to do that you'd like to blend as much as you personally would want to, but I think overall the course design has so many different varieties and options for you that it really allows you to get as creative as possible. And for this course design, it's not just like the most extreme people who really know this game can create a course. They do a really good job of making this like an all-level type creation, where a beginner can create a course, a very advanced person can create a course, and they all can come up with a finished product that can be published and possibly playable at a high level and highly ranked as well. So I think they did a really good job, first off, with the course design and just adding a whole bunch of variety, adding some new features to the game this year, and pretty much making it available for everybody to do and really dive into making their home courses, fantasy courses, whatever it is. Just, they did a really good job with that. The second thing that I really enjoy is the swing calibration. Obviously, you play a lot of video games and it becomes more of a copy and paste community where everyone is just choosing one thing that seems to be working the best, and you have to tailor your game simply to that one animation. With the swing calibration, they really offered an ability to create the game custom to your swing and your tempo. Not everybody has the same hand-eye coordination and or thumb skills as everybody else. So using the swing calibration, you're really able to tailor the game more to yourself, which is a very similar thing in real life golf, which I've really appreciated. It has also really helped on a day-to-day basis because some days you're fatigued, some days you're very high strung, and maybe you'd be playing a little bit different, but the swing calibration offers a little bit of variety where you can calibrate yourself to the skill level that you are at on that current day. Another big thing that I really enjoy with the gameplay is the variety of shots that you can hit. I really enjoy around the green work. Obviously anything around the green is going to be a huge importance for you. So having the ability to just play a variety of different shots has really given us the ability to play the golf in a manner that is custom to you and how you want to play, as well as hit any shot in any type of manner so that you can get the ball as close to the hole as possible. Along with those swing mechanics and the different swing types, I really enjoyed the realistic conditions that we've had. There are certain situations where obviously the percentages may not match to what a real golf course would like, but I think they've done a pretty close representation of what real golf is for the high roughs, the sand shots, even just the rocky lies, being on different types of slope. So I think they've done a superb job with the conditions and how the ball is affected by these conditions. And simply, like, one of the most important things is if you're in the rough, you're not getting much spin on it, and you can really see things like that resembling, as well as like fast or slow greens. We can get some spin on the slow ones. You can get a lot of rollout on the fast ones. I think the realistic conditions of the course have been a real home run for this game. Lastly, for a big pro of mine is the My Career. The My Career has a tendency to get a little bit boring and a little bit monotonous, and it can just be the same thing that you're doing over and over again. But I thought getting a lot of the big names in this game has really helped out a lot, so that way you can actually see a live leaderboard. You can get some in-game shots. The little details that really go into making a good game has really shown in the My Career. Also, the My Career settings are tailored exactly to what the community needs. They need that flexibility where if they're a beginner, they can adjust the scoring level so that it fits more into their range. Or if they want to really push themselves and really grind out so that they're playing in a competitive manner, they're able to really crank up those difficulty settings with those players and hit those numbers. All in all, the in-depth ability of the My Career mode, as well as with the courses, I really think has been a really big win for this game. Alright, so now we covered the positives. Obviously, there's a lot more positives to this game, but for this video, I just wanted to cover the big ones that I think are the home run winners. And now let's get into the negatives. Now, it may seem that there's a lot more negatives than there is positives, but that doesn't really illustrate the picture that I'm trying to paint here. But a lot of these negatives are going to be minor things that I think this game can really get taken to the next level if they're fixed or adjusted a little bit. But I wanted to cover them because my goal in this entire video is not to shame on the game. It's not to sound like I'm not enjoying this game. I'm very much so enjoying this game. But I want to just bring attention to some minor details that I think could really take this game to the next level. And with that, I also want to create a little bit of conversation, and maybe some ideas from the community can help lead the developers down a path that we need in order to make this game a complete game for everybody and not just one for people who are playing a specific type of way. It can be more based off of to each person's skill level, and we can get a big variety. The first very minor negative that I have come across is club similarities. I think they did a really good job with getting big name sponsors into a lot of the clubs, but I just didn't understand why I come across multiple different clubs and they have the exact same attributes. At that point, I'm essentially just choosing whether I want a Bridgestone club or a Sim club. It really doesn't make much sense. Like, if you're going to put the clubs in the game, even if it's a minute detail, I think each club should be a little bit different in some way. Obviously, I understand they don't want one club set being more overpowered than the other, but I think it was a little bit of a lazy move at some point where they just said, all right, just give that club the exact same attribute as that club. So I really think they could have done a little bit more in that, and they could really look into adjusting some of the attributes towards each club, so that way there's a lot less similarities between certain types. And I think more in like the hybrid section, the 3-wood section, the higher up clubs, they just, too much of them are all of the same attributes and doesn't give us much options to choose from other than which brand we want to be associated to. The second one, and this is kind of like a major one, and I haven't really understood this, and that's ball differences. When you play real golf, the ball you're using is a very important part of golf. Whether it's a low spin ball, it's a high spin ball, whether it's just a higher brand, a 2, 3, 4, 5 layer golf ball, all of these have serious effects on your golf game. So I don't know why there is no variety of what type of golf balls you can choose from, and having your ability and your attributes bump up and down accordingly. So like if they had our wedges, you could use a low wedge that doesn't spin the ball very much, you can't shot very much, but then you get a ball that is a high spin ball, you can combo those together and just create a lot more options for people. I think we have all been funneled down the same paths of same different types of clubs, and I think we don't have the variety we need and the options we need. And it really just takes a couple of different types of balls. You don't have to get crazy with it, but just have some stuff that could bump up or down different types of attributes for your club set that will really infect your game. The next one is a big factor, and I know a lot of people have had the problem with it. I came out with a video early on and told people to stay away from the pitch shot, but the pitch shot is the most important shot in this game. It is, if you can figure out how to hit a pitch shot, you are hitting as close to the hole as possible, because you can get that thing to stop, you can get that thing to spin, and the fact that we are incapable of hitting a consistent pitch shot is unbelievable. And that is one of the most aggravating things that I've had with this game, is the fact that I can hit a pitch shot very fast on one swing, and then the next one I'm hitting a slow, and the ball goes like 10 yards in front of me when it's supposed to be going 50 yards to the flag. And I just don't understand why they decided that the pitch shot is going to all of a sudden be a different swing speed than any other shot in your bag. In real golf, I swing with the same tempo on every single one of my shots, whether I'm hitting a 50% shot, a 100% shot, or a chip. My back tempo is the exact same because it's all about my tempo. So why would all of a sudden the pitch shot be a completely different tempo? I think that really needs to be illustrated, and I think that really needs to be adjusted soon, because that is a very important shot and it causes a lot of struggles for a lot of people out there. And I know the community kind of is really upset with that, and I just think all you have to do is just make the tempo the same as everything else, and you would find a much better situation for hitting closer to the hole. So I know I've been hitting some major ones here, so let's dial it a little bit back. Hit a little bit of a minor one. Let's talk about online save settings. Obviously, we play a lot with our friends, trying to get people invited. We've had the inability to play 2v2s online for some time now that really needs to be fixed. That's a story for later in this video. But Why can't I save my settings? Every single 18 that I play, I have to go back in, create the club set, or I just have to leave it open every single time. But I don't want to leave it open because obviously you want to hold certain people accountable to the level that we're playing so that we're all playing on the exact same settings. So why can't I set a preset setting that I go into the game, and before I start, I can just do setting 1, and then it would just do my custom setting that I normally have, and then I'd easily be able to go. Yeah, it's just a minor one. It takes you a couple minutes to really do. It's really not. But it's just like one of those minor details that we'd really like in the game. Since I kind of mentioned it, how about I go right into it? Online matchmaking. This game doesn't really offer a variety of types of matchmaking, and I understand with the budget that they have that they are restricted to a lot of things. NBA 2K obviously has a plethora amount of money that they can just throw at their game and their developers and get the matchmaking that they need. But this game, we have gone 2 months now with the inability to play 2v2 online. And when you do play online, you're always restricted to pro settings. You can't even choose a different lobby with a different settings, or you can't even do any sort of online matchmaking. It does some sort of online matchmaking, but you're all under one setting. And I think that's basically because of the budget that they have, which they may have to increase it. Hopefully they sold enough copies where they think that this game is going to be a game moving forward where they can really throw more money at. But I think that's something that really needs to be addressed because it can be a huge part of this game. Online, everyone loves to play with people online. And whether it's their friends, if their friends aren't on, then they want to go into the online matchmaking societies or just the online societies as well. Obviously, those are great, but I just think a big head-to-head open round where you can choose the types of difficulty you want to play in and then just challenge those people randomly online that you get matched with could be a huge win for this game. Not something too terrible, but the fact that we still have no 2v2 is kind of infuriating. The next one I think that we all have come to find is the Putty Meter. The putting meter can determine whether you shoot -10 on one day or +3 on the next day. I have been into that fault and I have not mastered the putting. I haven't even come close to mastering the putting. I still struggle up with putting on a daily basis, but it's a constant grind, and turning off the meter has really helped my putting stroke. And check out my previous video if you'd like to see a couple tips if you're putting without the meter. But if not, I think that this quick adjustment could really advance the game. I won't take credit. This is not my idea. This is, you've seen Mattia on my previous videos. This is an idea that he brought up to me, and I'd love to share because I thought it was a fantastic idea. Putts don't get harder as you get closer to the hole. So why is a 10-foot putt just as hard as a 4-foot putt in this game? The closer you get to the hole, if you're based off on a flat lie pretty much, the white swing path meter should be bigger. And I'm not saying move it to the size of the beginner level. I'm just saying, like, when you're playing on master difficulty, that swing meter is already razor thin for putting, and if you miss it by a sliver, you're going to push it right or push it left. It doesn't matter whether you're 3 feet or 30 feet. But if I'm 3 feet from the hole, that's pretty much a gimme. That's about 95 make% on tour, so why am I still desperately sweating over a 3-foot putt? Because my swing path is so small that I'm worried that I'm going to push it a little bit and then just yank it to the right or to the left. I shouldn't have to sweat on those. My last main big negative is obviously the hottest topic in the community, and that is the fast and the slow swing and the tempo of it and how everyone's playing for deliberate fast because that's the only consistent way that they can get consistent shots. And I'm not going to really dive into my stake on it. I think if it's in the game, you can't really fault somebody for taking advantage of the game. It's not like they're glitching. It's not like they're cheating. But it is kind of a way that you don't want the game to be built. You want to have people who miss to the left and miss to the right because you're going to have to set up golf courses that are all built to everything is on the left to try to trap these people going that way. You're going to have to get the wind blowing off the right to the left to try to get them to just really have uncontrollable shots. And there really needs to be a resolution to this. And I think the resolution to this is the perfect swing meter. The perfect, like, it is so hard to get a perfect swing. Unless you're on a difficulty below pro, where the white meter is big enough to like you can actually find it, it is really hard to hit a perfect meter. And I can't blame people for hitting the fast, and I think there needs to be an adjustment being made, because if I can't hit the perfect meter on a consistent basis, why am I even going to continuously try to play this game trying to get perfect shots? I'm trying to hit as low as possible, and if I'm going for the perfect meter, I might hit a slow shot which would send my ball about 50 yards to the right, and then the next one I'll hit a perfect shot, and then the next one I'll hit a fast shot that will send my ball a little bit 10, 5-yard hook, draw, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to play to that perfect swing. It's going to give me the most consistent results. And what's the most important part about golf? Consistency. If you've seen my earlier videos, you have to take out 2/3 of the course. That's what real golf is all about. So playing the fast swing takes out that 2/3 of the course, and it leaves only one side of the golf course open. If we're hitting perfect shots, then you're hitting exactly what you want to do, and that's what we should be striving for. But if I'm just taking out 2/3 of the cop, it's a cop-out way to do it. But if you're not going to give us the ability to hit consistent perfect swings, then I don't really have a resolution for you other than that needs to be resolved. And I think it needs to be resolved sooner rather than later, because I think a lot of people are just tailoring the way that they play the game to mash the stick as far as they can forward, and it's kind of just resulting in a community that is kind of pissed off about it, and we need to find a resolution to it. I think the perfect window being increased would obviously be a bigger benefit. People would start hitting the shots that they want to be hitting, getting the spin that they want to be hitting, and trying to hit that window more consistently. Or maybe don't benefit those guys who are swinging fast by giving them extra distance. Treat it like a slow shot, where if you're hitting a slow shot, you lose distance, or if you're hitting a fast shot, you also lose distance. Because that's one of the biggest perks about hitting fast. Not only do you take off 2/3 of the course, but you're also gaining a whole bunch of extra yardage, and you're hitting within a small circle that you know is over there. So I don't know if the very fast needs to be brought more into the fast section, or if maybe they just lose distance for hitting fast. That would not be a realistic situation where if you're swinging fast, or make the fast swing a two-way miss. Don't just make the fast swing a one-way miss. These are just thoughts that I've been thinking about. Obviously, I don't have the answer, and I don't think the devs have the answer as well, but hopefully we can find one in the near future. So I think they just really need to stop shooting themselves in the foot. And I'm going to sit here and say that I understand the budget. And I think the community needs to understand the budget, and the community needs to understand that this is the first iteration of this game. Yes, the golf club was out in 2018. The golf club was out in 2019. They carried those developers over into 2K, but this is the first time you got new bosses, the first time that you have probably a expanded developing crew. So this is a learning lesson, and I think that we can build off this moving forward, make some minor tweaks here and there, and really take this game to the next level. All in all, you may think that this video was a very big negative and that I'm really hating this game. I play the hell out of this game. I'm really enjoying this game. I'm a huge golf fan, and I have played this game just as much as I played NBA 2K right now. I'm really interested to see how they're going to take this game into the next gen consoles. But I would really give this game right now in its current situation a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. I think there needs to be some minor adjustments if it really wants to take it to the next level. And I think us in the community with some communication with the developers can really make this game what it needs to be. And this is only the start of hopefully a long future franchise with 2K. And I'm really looking forward to what the future brings. So this is a long, expanded review, and I've hit on a lot of topics. Sorry if it's taken a little bit longer. I've kind of really just dove into certain things that have really kind of got my brain thinking lately while playing this game. Fill up those comment sections with any of your thoughts on this game. Maybe you've liked it, maybe you haven't liked it, but hey, you can't fix something unless you're not willing to communicate each other and see what the community wants. As always, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the videos. We're going to catch you guys next time. I'm going to be dropping some new content later this week. I had the great pleasure of playing with a developer of some fantastic courses, and I'm going to hit you with some reviews on their courses this week. All right, catch you guys later. Thanks.